Moose are the largest deer on Earth, and even giants can be overwhelmed by parasites. Around the ears and neck, the softest skin has become a feeding ground for swelling ticks. In the folds of the neck, the infestation gathers thickly, where the moose cannot reach. Even the shoulder hump and chest are crowded, turning every movement into discomfort. Across the back, the infestation spreads so wide that calm becomes difficult. The burden reaches down the lower body, into the places where every step feels worse. Moose rely on their huge ears and sharp hearing, but irritation like this never lets them rest. It rubs against whatever it can find, seeking relief that never fully comes. Some of the worst clusters lie beneath the body, where the burden is hardest to escape. Moose often browse willow and aquatic plants, but today feeding gives way to pure discomfort. The moose has no quick escape from this pain, only patience and endurance. So the moose waits, burdened by a problem it cannot solve alone. Then, sharp-eyed oxpeckers notice the burden written across the moose's skin. Oxpeckers are parasite-eating birds. They are built to search large animals for easy meals. The moment of trust begins when the first bird lands, and the moose does not resist. A second cleaner joins the first, drawn toward the richest clusters around the neck and hump. Now the inspection narrows, from the whole burden to a single parasite chosen for removal. The first peck is careful, but it marks the beginning of the relief the moose could never give itself. Stillness becomes cooperation, giving the birds the time they need to work. Soon, the first pair is joined by others, turning caution into collective purpose. Oxpeckers use sharp beaks to pry ticks free from fur and skin. The moose can do only one thing now: stand still and let help come closer. Now the real work begins, as a small team of cleaners spreads across the moose's burdened body. At the neck, where the burden ran deepest, the birds begin to clear the first real space. Across the hump, each bite lightens the moose's burden by one more parasite. Around the ears, precision matters, and the cleaner works with surprising care. The thickest clusters become the first targets, stripped away one parasite at a time. For the bird, the burden becomes food, a reward taken directly from the moose's pain. Working together, the birds turn one feeding opportunity into a careful, coordinated cleanup. Some parasites resist harder than others, but even the biggest begin to give way. Already, the moose's body begins to soften as the first relief takes hold. What looks like tenderness is also hunger, and the partnership works because both needs are real. As one region clears, the cleaners shift their focus to the next hidden pocket of burden. Moose are strong swimmers, so wetlands like this are part of their everyday world. Only the densest pockets remain, and the birds turn to them with renewed focus. A parasite finally breaks free, and the moose's burden becomes just a little lighter. Patch by patch, the moose's coat begins to reclaim its natural form. Even the face, too delicate for rough rubbing, is now reached by a cleaner's careful beak. Together, the birds turn scattered feeding into a coordinated effort across the moose's body. The deeper fur hides what the eye misses, but not what the birds are trained to find. For the cleaners, the work never really stops, each meal leading directly to the next search. The deepest pockets begin to loosen at last, leaving space where only burden once clung. Relief is visible now, not in speed, but in the way the body finally relaxes. Only a few strongholds remain, and the cleaners turn all their focus toward them. The difference can now be seen from a distance, the body looking lighter than it did before. Relief reaches the face first, softening the look of an animal no longer trapped by constant irritation. Where the hump was once crowded, only scattered remnants now remain. The body softens now, no longer driven by the same relentless discomfort. The work is nearly done, reduced now to careful checks for the last hidden stragglers. Beneath the bird's work, the moose's coat begins to look like its own again. Even the lower body now needs only a final check for overlooked stragglers. Even the marsh seems calmer now, as if the tension has drained away with the parasites. The transformation is clear now, from burden and restlessness to balance and calm. Moose spend much of their lives near wetlands, and this giant finally looks at ease again. The cleaners fall away one by one, their task complete and their reward already taken. What remains is the same animal, yet clearly changed by the small lives that helped it. For the bird, the exchange ends simply, with a full crop and a safe perch. With the burden eased, the moose finally moves as if its body belongs to it again. Seen in the wider landscape, the moment feels small, yet it reveals one of nature's quiet balances. And in that quiet exchange, both lives go on, reminding us that survival can also mean partnership,